getting to hear a couple of words of Jordan Nothing Gilbert as he's going to be taking to this gorgeous stage. ESL 1 Cologne 2017. And we have a real luxury here on the analyst desk, of course powered by Intel. We have an ESL 1 Cologne champion joining us, Adam Freiberg. Lifted the trophy in 2014, and now 3 years later we get to talk to you about the Ninjas in Pajamas battling for a spot in the semi-finals. It is a world we live in. Joining him, of course, is Janko Paunovic, and we get to kind of investigate this one because there is so much to talk about. And the first thing Janko said to me as we start discussing this one is, can we just talk a little bit about that game 3 years ago? Because NiP and C9 have met before, Janko.
Absolutely. I mean, that was semi-final?
You should know.
No, that was the quarterfinal.
That was
quarterfinal. So,
yeah.
You know, that crazy cobblestone game that with NiP in that tournament, it seemed like it always had to end up on cobblestone, and it was always a super close game. Of course, at the time, the map's cobblestone overpass only being introduced a couple of months before the tournament. I
mean, I'm sure you remember that. You can attest, perhaps Crowd has grown in scale since you were lifting that trophy, but you can attest that there is something very special about that ESL 1 Cologne victory in that trophy.
For sure. I mean, it's the only major that we have won so far, and the only one I have won. I mean, I remember just that game on Cobble against Cloud9. That whole series, actually, I think it was 2 maps that ended 16-14. Yeah. We always had very close games against Cloud9, and here at the major, that Cobble ending 3rd map was like, it was barely just released before the tournament, and yeah, a lot of close rounds.
A lot of clutches, perhaps.
I remember the round where you were hiding in cannons. Like, they lost pistol second half. He's hide there, and later on, Cloud9 said, like, we didn't even know that spot exists because Cloud9 played the map once in practice, and they quit the server because they were like getting destroyed or something.
Oh my lord!
Or they weren't practicing properly. So, like back in those days, there were a lot of interesting situations.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on the topic of maps and not knowing things about maps, we know very little about the Ninjas, and that's where I want to start this one. They've only played Cash. I know I feel like we're a bit of a broken record here, but likely new voices and faces into the stream and arena. They've got away with just playing Cash. Now, my question to you here, Adam, is new player, likely new map pool, as you've already highlighted before. Do you think they're hiding cards up their sleeve, or if they've just got rather lucky in playing a map that they're competent on?
I think they've got lucky. I mean, that's what we used to say, is that why change a broken... Like, I think that why change is something that works, right? Yeah. And I know that NiP, they have updated their map pool. I'm not too sure I want to tell you what maps they're playing, but I mean, I know that they have changed some maps, and they're good on other maps as well. What I don't know is that how much time they actually had time to prepare on, like, the maps that we already played. If they just put Res in my position and just, like, kind of went with the old play style. But it's going to be interesting to see. Now they can't just play Cash, right? Yeah. I'm not too sure that even C9 wants to play Cash against NiP, because that was the first game that both of the teams played in this tournament. That was on Cash, and NiP won 16-12.
Yeah, and of course, just a quick throwback to that game, as we can. I think this is going to be quite a throwback-filled analyst desk segment. But Janko, you were watching that one alongside us, and I mean, Cloud9 actually put up quite the fight outside of a couple of individual brilliance from that of Forest and Rez.
They did, but as you said, Forrest just decided to play some of the rounds on the T side that we saw from him, you know, single-handedly winning some of those rounds. It's very difficult to deal with NiP when Forrest is on point, and that has been true. He has been having a great tournament, but everyone has been contributing, right? Everyone has been doing their part, and it has to be like that if NiP is going to win games and if they're going to progress even further in this tournament.
And not too long ago, Adam, you were in California, and you played against Cloud9 with a particular, admittedly quite the caveat of course, swag against them. Now, what is it like playing against these North Americans? Is there a particular feeling? I mean, you conceded that best of 3 to them. What was it that makes it so difficult to pick up the victories versus them on occasion? I
think that one of the hardest players to play against is Stewie. He's like one of those when I mentioned like Snacks, I mentioned Stewie. I mean, he's a peasant. Like he always goes in like with the perfect timing. He's a nonsense to play against. So Cloud9, I mean, what I like to see from them is that the whole team has actually been stepping up. I mean, we usually talk about Stewie, we usually talk about Automatic, but I mean, even Shroud and Skadoodle is hitting their form right now. And
absolutely.
I mean, if I were NiP, I wouldn't be so sure it's going to be as easy as it was in the first game. It wasn't that easy game, but I mean, I'm expecting things from Cloud9 here. I'm thinking we're going to see 3 maps.
Okay, well, talking of maps, let's get that veto up. We get to see exactly how the process went, the order, the conversation, and all of that good stuff. So prepare yourselves, and I'll let you guys talk this one through.
I mean, this is a huge problem for Cloud9. They have no idea what NiP plays. Probably can count on them. You know, they know how the veto process went in their best of 1, but that's only 3 maps. You don't know what their pick would be out of the other maps that are available. We see Cloud9 doesn't want to gamble with Nuke. They are expecting NiP to be prepared on the map, so they veto it out. NiP sticking with their ban even when Adam was on the team, which was Mirage. And Cloud9 seems to have just been going with what's good for them. You know, let's just pick Train. That's a comfortable map for us. If they want to pick Cash, they can feel free to do so. We already played the game. We'll look back at the demo and see what are the mistakes and what we can fix.
I think that Train is one of the maps that NiP really wants to play. Even when I played with NiP a month ago, Train was probably one of the, if it was not the best map for us. That I mean, we have a Nuke, which is always the map that we like to play, but Train, one of those maps. Cache, Threat likes to play Cache as well, and Cobble on the third map.
Okay,
You
now
already see it happening, Alex, don't you? Like, third map, Cobblestone goes to the decider.
all over again.
Have a crazy game. Anders gets an aneurysm.
Again and again.
Again and again. Yeah, but it's interesting towards the very end. It seems like it's a balanced veto from Cloud9's point of view, right? They can't know if Train is the strongest map or not. Out of the maps that were in the pool, it's probably the one they are going to be the most comfortable on. The one little thing is, once you pick the map, your opponent picks the side, and NiP gets to start CT. Also interesting that Cloud9 decided to pick CT on Cache. We see more and more teams actually start as T or prefer to start as T, and the map has become probably the most T-sided map we have in the pool.
So, I mean, an interesting one for us, just a question perhaps newbie in nature, but you've seen Ninjas in Pajamas have won, got to the playoffs on Cache, beating teams like G2, 16-6 on Cache. You've lost to them yourself on Cache, and into that veto phase, do you not at any point as Cloud9 think, maybe we give them Nuke?
No. I mean, the difference in a best of 3 veto and a best of 1 veto is very different. Okay. In a best of 3 veto, you can veto 3 maps, while you cannot do that when you're playing in BO3. Now you can only remove 1 map, right? Yeah. And I've seen that Cloud9 in the whole tournament, they have removed Nuke as probably the first ban or maybe as a second ban in some games, but they don't really seem to be playing Nuke. So I'm not
surprised.
I'm not surprised that Cloud9 they let Cache go through. I mean, now they have played against them. They have some kind of feeling what NiP have done. NiP, they haven't been strat heavy on Cache, especially not on their T side. They've been going for picks. They were playing very simple and basic CS.
And we've discussed it before, that's a style that you can hit a brick wall quite quickly with that kind of style.
Yeah, absolutely. If your individuals aren't performing as well, if maybe the communication or timing's a little bit off, and that's something that if you know that's the playstyle of your opponents, you can prepare for it, right? You can go for more aggressive plays as CT, try to break down, those individual plays, individual contact plays, and so on. And the question is, does NiP have something? You would probably expect them to have something in store if that doesn't work. The thing is, they were winning rounds pretty comfortably with that style. So why try something else, as Adam pointed out? If it ain't broke, why fix it?
And we can also, I mean, this is a perfect opportunity to remind everyone, now Threat is fully back behind the team. Not in the in-game leadership role, of course, due to coaching changes, but he's committed to the team 100%, right?
Yes, he is. And it's going to be interesting to see Train now, because Train is one of those maps where you can't just really play a puggy game style, where you actually need proper communication, proper team play, right? So it's going to be fun seeing NiP and new team playing one of those maps. But I think the X factor in this particular on Train, that's going to be Skadoodle, because I think he's been performing very well on all the Train matches that Cloud9 has played in this tournament so far.
Absolutely, and we will focus on that first map after those odds. Let's just make sure we get them up. Betway are going to be giving someone the edge, and it is going to be the Swedes by not the craziest of margins. I think there's probably mutual understanding there given their route to the playoffs.
And a big thing we need to take away from Jordan's interview is that Cloud9 has been going from a tournament to a tournament. They haven't had time to change their strats or adjust their play style in a huge way. And now that you have Threat there 100%, going through those demos, even at this tournament they play like 100 rounds versus Na'Vi on Train, so you can go over that and see not just their strategies. That's not generally what you're going to look for. You look for tendencies, you look for patterns. What happens if they're a man up? Do they try to fake, or do they group up and go to a bomb site? Right. How do they do they over-rotate in situations when they're a man down? And you look for those patterns, and that's something that you can exploit actually in game. And that's something that teams initially don't think about when they think about being anti-stratted, right? They think about their general strategies, and when they see these smokes, they're just going to counter us by throwing incendiary straight away.
I mean, you know how these players on the NiP side operate on a much deeper level than we would. Now, are they the kind of team that would watch those demos and think about shutting down Skadoodle? Would they try and shut down a particular player, or is it more of a case of tendency outlining like Janko has? I mean, what's the thought process they go through when reviewing 66 rounds of train?
I mean, anti-strutting overtime rounds is never something you do, because overtime rounds is like just clutch situations kinda. It's just like you've already been playing the regulation, now it's the overtime round, and it feels like it's just like, yeah, it feels like you do more random stuff in overtime just to kinda, you get a feeling on how the game is going. So I think that it's gonna be hard for NiP to like really sit down and anti-strat, and I know for myself that NiP, the players themselves, are not players that really sit down and watch other teams. It's more a threat. He's a real anti-stratter, if I may say so. He likes to sit down and watch the opponents, and he really likes to find, like Janko said, tendencies, more like basic setups, basic, like if they seem to be pulling in like a standard round, the default setup, where do they go, what do they like to do during this time, and then NiP knows kind of, like when we go into the game, he's going to brief the whole team what they're doing.
So is that what's going down in that team huddle? Threat is going to be saying, expect X, expect Y? Is that kind of how this is going to go down? Interesting. And on the Cloud9 side of things, as we do get ever closer to them taking to the stage, Janko, I have to ask, Ninjas are the favorites from the odds from our sponsor. I have to ask, what are the win conditions for Cloud9? We've seen plenty of their train games before.
I think first they have to be, you know, up to par with the individuals of NiP if they continue playing in the same way, right? You can't allow Forest to run out yard, for example, on train and just get 3 kills on the T side. You need to be able to shut that down. And also we've seen Cloud9 putting more focus on their slow play and their late round executes, and they actually have been improving in that aspect of the game, and you do feel like they need to have a good change of pace. Right now for Cloud9 at times it seems it's either super fast or super slow. There's no middle ground, so you know, that's a problem. That's something that can be exploited and countered. So for them it's just having a good balance and playing their own game.
Play their own game. Individuals on par with some very scary looking Swedes, if their group stage is anything to go by. Those are the win conditions, the final of which I will refer to you. Is it purely hinging on Forest and Rez doing what they did before, or is there a backup plan in place? I mean, what's your expectations?
I think that's what we don't know, right? I mean, they've only been a team with Rezo for almost 3-4 weeks, right? So we don't know how much they are prepared. I'm hoping that they are prepared. I think they have other things. If the kind of easy play style, the pick and play doesn't work, they have something to fall back on, and that's very important.
Very important indeed. Okay, that's perfect. The scene is most beautifully set. Cloud9 have some scary individuals, and they have to be able to be on par with the legendary names such as Forest. This is going to go down right now here in the Lanxess Arena. When we return, the players will meet the crowd, and you'll meet your casters as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ESL 1 Cologne 2017. Yeah, okay. That's sort of okay. Now, they told me you guys were going to be really loud this weekend. I'm not sure we've heard that loudness yet. That's pretty good. Okay. Are you ready for the second quarter-final? Our next two teams are both legends already. We have one team who surprised many by going 3-0 in the group stages over the last 3 days. They are former champions in 2014 at ESL 1 Cologne, and they go head-to-head with another ESL champion, a team that won the Pro League in Season 4, but have yet to go past the quarterfinals at an ESL 1. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome C9 and Ninjas in Pajamas? Ladies and gentlemen, your second quarterfinal between Ninjas in Pajamas and Cloud9!
The reformed Ninjas in Pajamas versus Cloud9.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here the second semi-finals, NiP versus Cloud9. My name is Anders and with me is Semler, and we're gonna take you through this incredible show. What a match it's going to be as well. NiP in the quarterfinals. That in itself is exciting, but
yes,
a lot can still happen. The maps are going to be interesting as well. I look forward to this a lot.
I think for both of these teams, Anders, I mean, I don't think anybody really expected NiP to be able to perform so well, going through 3-0 in the groups, just battering their way through. Nobody really knows how to handle them. But then you have Cloud9, right, and how North America have performed at recent events. You never really know if they're going to make it out of the groups either. So here we have it. Two beautiful teams competing in the quarters that maybe nobody really thought that they could do it.
Yeah, 3 North American teams managed to make it through the group stage this time. That in itself is slightly outrageous, and Cloud9 have certainly been playing a lot better recently. They have a lot to show. I do think you have a fair point, though. It's true, it would have been harder for them to anti-strat NiP, considering that they don't know that much about how Res and Drake can play on this team. And NiP, on the other hand, they don't have too much best-of-3 experience on LAN and in front of this big stage with this particular lineup. So that's going to be very interesting. A lot of unknowns, and hopefully a lot of really good Counter-Strike to come.
That's the strength, and that's, you know, they call it the honeymoon period, right? When you have a new roster. I mean, not only are you trying to get together and figure out how to play as a unit, but your opponents have no idea which maps are you going to play, what's your style going to be. That was talked a little bit on the desk before getting into this, you know, anti-stratting and how you prepare for your opponent. NiP are kind of a big question mark right now. And so we're going to see just how versatile Cloud9 are. Are they able to adjust on the fly?
Obviously, the first map coming up is going to be on Train, and that's an interesting battleground for this to kick off with. Really hard to figure out exactly how to play either side of this map. I mean, sometimes you'd be very CT-sided, and sometimes the Terror side has just a huge streak, and it still works out anyway. So I would say for these two teams, it's going to be kind of hard to call, but I really look forward to it. I want to see Skadrul back with that AWP again. I want to see him really wreak some havoc, but we'll see what can happen. I don't know if you noticed this, but sometimes when you do the pan over shot of Forrest, when he's standing there, he just looks like a happy child that's just sort of, I'm just in the mood. He looked laser focused in that, like when they were doing that lineup. He's like a Swedish samurai just ready to get this on the way. I mean, he's definitely prepared.
Yeah, no, even now, look, no grin from him, and you're right, he is a joker. He likes to goof around. He likes to keep the team spirits up with some jokes and everything, and yet here he is. He just looked like he had murder in his eyes.
Yeah.
And so Cloud9 have to be a little bit worried about that because Forrest, he's a linchpin for NiP. They rely heavily on his fragging ability, his playmaking. And so if Forrest is coming into this just dialed in, Cloud9 are going to be in for a bit of a rough time. It's going to be the sun coming out, and they will evaporate, Anders.
Well, it could be. I don't know how to call this. I mean, there's obviously the whole NiP fanboy club thing going on that I sort of have to stick around with a little bit. Got to keep the memes alive somehow, otherwise it's just not, the internet.
The 4-year-old meme.
Yeah, the 4-year-old meme. But at the same time, I've been really impressed by Cloud9. I think Stewie and Automatic is one of the most interesting and also one of the most lethal duos that we have in the game right now. They're so much fun to watch, and they play just amazing Counter-Strike. So if those two can turn up, I think NiP are also going to be in trouble. I don't know. I think this is pretty close right now between these two teams, but it'll be interesting. And they are all in the server. They're almost ready to go. And the fans are ready as well.
Big thing is that Cloud9, they've had plenty of opportunity now through the groups. We've seen so many overtimes from them. 2 of their matches went to overtimes. One of them was an insane 30-rounder for each team. They're used to the chaos, Anders. They thrive in the chaos. And so this might actually play into Cloud9's favor. They've had a lot of opportunity here at this tournament within the past couple of days to get used to chaotic situations and getting out ahead. That's going to come in handy versus a team you don't really know much about. Because you're going to be getting into these shifty spots where you're not quite sure how does this play out from here. And so if you've got the likes of Skadoodle, who has multiple 1vx situations so far in the groups going into the quarters, if he shows up at that kind of level, that's going to be a huge boon here for NiP to really, or rather for Cloud9. It's not going to be a good thing for NiP.
No, you're absolutely right, and we'll see how it all pans out. Certainly, a lot of the clutches that Skadoodle have actually been on train. He's had some really good situations there. Second map is Cash. That's really interesting as well. So, I mean, I look forward to seeing that NiP on Cash. It's been a bit of a weird history, but maybe they can figure it out. The fact that Threat is here full-time makes me think they've got a good shot.
That's a big thing to note. They actually have their coach behind them. The anti-stratter, as Freiburg put it. I mean, it's true. NiP, they don't really study their opponents too much. They focus more on their game as a team, as a unit. It's up to the coach to do the homework. And well, we'll see what Threat will have been able to gather over the past couple of days here, and obviously the major qualifier that happened last week, because there was an opportunity to watch Cloud9 perform there as well. Unfortunately, NiP not going to be making the major this year. So I think that was another thing coming into this. You really weren't sure what to expect from NiP, considering the horrible run of form that they've had over the past several months.
Yeah, but that also means that their focus has been exclusively on this tournament, whereas Cloud9, slightly different story for them, right? They've got potentially split focus, even if they don't want that to be true. It definitely could be. I'm very excited for this particular game, and yeah, it could just be me fantasizing and dreaming myself away in Forest's eyes, but I really feel like he's got a different level of focus than what we see in some tournaments here. It'll be interesting to see how he's going to be playing in this particular game.
I just hope that the pressure doesn't affect him too much. If he's sitting there thinking, man, I got to do everything here. I really got to step up. If he gets too wound up, Anders, that might actually come back to haunt them though, because if things don't go right from at the beginning of the half, it's going to be very hard for him to get his head back into the game later on in the match. So we'll see. I mean, you still have the young guns, Rez and Draken, together again.
Together again, indeed. So, do you want to make a prediction as we are just sorting out the last issues before we go live with the game? Who is going to be winning this?
NiP. It pains me to say.
The whole thing?
Oh, what? The whole tournament?
Well, I meant just the best of three.
How sick would that be? Because they won. This was their first major, NiP, when they actually won in Cologne. But that was, 2014. It's been 3 years now, Anders.
Listen, Freiburg and I both have NiP called as the winner of this tournament. Obviously, we have to do that. We have to.
I could see NiP making the finals for sure. I could see NiP, if they make it through Cloud9 here, they can definitely take down Na'Vi. And so I could see them making it into. I think G2 gifted Na'Vi that quarterfinal basically, and that Na'Vi should have lost there. But
it's part of the NiP contract when you leave the organization, Samuel. You have to cheer for them at all future events, no matter what happens. So.
Right, it's like a non-compete. Basically, you sign that. Otherwise, NiP, Heaton, he comes after you. He's a big guy.
Yeah, you don't want that. Definitely don't want that. And we'll see if they can sort out the last couple of issues, and then we should be almost ready to get into the game here on Train. If you have any friends that are not currently watching, give them a call, give them a text. This is only the second semifinals of the day, or quarterfinals. Sorry, there's going to be 2 more as well, and they're going to be very interesting games. So, you know, just get everybody involved, get your friends in.
Just go kick his door in if he's sleeping.
Yeah, definitely do that. There is yeah, there's a point to watching these games. You're going to learn a lot about Counter-Strike, and I think the atmosphere in the arena is so good right now that yeah, it'll be a shame to miss it. Don't want to give this one up. I think we do have the countdown just about ready. Means they should be headed into the game. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's NiP versus Cloud9 in a best-of-3 quarterfinals here at ESL 1 Cologne 2017. And let's get this game underway. NiP going to be starting on the CT side and Cloud9 on the terrorist side. And the game is live.
I like that a lot from Shroud. Just the small detail that you noticed, but he was drinking coffee, right? Much better than drinking energy drinks. Because it doesn't spike your, it doesn't mess with your blood sugar. There's no real, like, you're not going to crash if you're just drinking straight coffee, no sugar in it. It's a much better way to just get a little bit of a jolt than to open yourself up to a big crash, a sugar dump. So I like that. That was Fnatic way back in the day. That was Fnatic who were actually the first ones to really start doing that. Stop drinking Coca-Cola, stop drinking any sweets, eating any sweets at tournaments to try and make their blood sugar a little bit more leveled out.
Let's see how this unfolds. Smoke and a defuse kit on Get Right, just in case there's any Molotov shenanigans with. Nothing does have one, but I think it's going to be used in a different way from what we normally see. There's Get Right opening up. Forest with a headshot as well, shutting down Stewie. And we're off to a blazing start here for NiP. Cloud9 now 3 versus 5. Have to find their way onto the bomb site somehow, and Forest finding yet another headshot. Exist finally goes down, jumping for the trade, and Forest picking up the kill on automatic. A ridiculous move, and he's looking for more shenanigans. Forest coming in with quad kill in the first round. Unbelievable.
Oh boy. Okay. This is the start. This is what it means when Forest isn't laughing at the beginning. More of this. More of this for Forest. Look at that last shot too. He took his time. Just made sure he was going to get the headshot.
Just performing actual parkour in the middle of the match. Just jumping through trains and making that work. That must have looked ridiculous from his point of view.
Oh, we got a technical timeout here. Sometimes, you're getting warmed up to the game, and there's just things that you don't notice until you're actually in the match. Hopefully they'll get it sorted out quick. Take a look at this. That's really good awareness. There's a smoke as well that's evaporating in front of him. Automatic, man. That's going to get you wrecked, isn't it? And this last one, it's like, there it is, the headshot. Well, Threat, you can be happy about that. They're definitely not happy about having a pause. You don't want to let Cloud9 have a moment to catch their breath in a situation like this. You want to just keep that pressure on. But that is the kind of performance that you're looking for if you're a fan of NiP and you're a fan of Forest.
It's a bit of a time for everyone to take a deep breath. We should recap that Cloud9 didn't get the bomb down. It means they're going to be buying Tech9 and Armor in the next round. It's really no surprise at all. But we'll see how that plays out. Definitely on Train, you can do a lot of damage. And for once, I want NiP to be more leaned back in their defense. If they hold close to the entrances on either A or B against Tech9s, that's an easy way to lose a round.
Absolutely. And what we've seen so far in this tournament in the past couple of months, teams have become much better at dealing with the anti-ecos, not losing to the 4 spies in the second round after winning the pistol. And so Cloud9, well, Skadoodle is going to prioritize that AWP. That's what we expect to see from him. But Shroud as well, not spending everything. A bit of a half point coming in here for Cloud9. Draken flashed out from alley, looking for the first peek. Nothing. Wisely. This is usually nothing spot. And he's pretty clever about it. Rarely gets caught off guard.
Definitely putting pressure on Cloud9, just not knowing what's on the other side of that smoke. A lot of the map that you're sort of missing. And Draken is doing a pretty good job holding on to that. And the rest of Cloud9 just waiting and hoping that maybe there's going to be more aggressive pushes coming in somewhere. They could pick up a kill and have NiP make the early mistake, which right now it doesn't seem like they're doing. Again, defense is really far drawn back. It's kind of everything you'd want out of a round like this for NiP. It would have to be a miracle opening for Cloud9 to make a breakthrough in this defense.
Yeah, we're getting to that minute mark. And Automatic is deciding now's the time to go. Hoping to find somebody at green train, not going to be the case. Rez is holding around the corner. But NiP, nobody has spotted him either. You can see Rez is, I like this angle from Rez because it allows you to spot the E-box as well as next to blue train towards A main, where Automatic is. And so he's holding just one long line. A lot of information gained from that one position here for Rez, and we'll see if he can benefit from that. Automatic is pretty much going to walk right into him when he goes around the corner.
They really want that deagle shot. That's what this is all about right now. Just someone peek, and if they do, the whole trap is going to be sprung over at the B bomb side instead. That's where the eventual rush is going to be. One smoke and one flashbang going to be going in from Shroud. Rez gets the line, and now Exist holding here. They're trying to see if they can make their way through. He actually does get tagged in the face right away, so probably will be a bomb plant here for Cloud9, but they should not be able to hold on to it at all. NiP should have no trouble recovering this round.
Yeah, they have no utility, no Molotov on upper, and Get Right finds the headshot. Get Right with both headshots. Okay, then Get Right. Very well done. Shroud and Skadoodle doing the best they can, but it's not going to be good enough. But the big thing here is that Cloud9 get the bomb plant, and so Skadoodle will be the one who's smiling about that. Gets him $800 closer to getting that AWP in the 4th round, or in the 3rd. Now they actually have a plant, but no, they went for the force this round, and so...
They went for the force. I mean, if they bought in this round, it'd be pretty disappointing, because that would prevent Skadoodle from getting the AWP, and we really want that. And he's certainly saving for it. It means this next round is going to be potentially even easier for NiP. No armor at all this time for Cloud9. So a bit of a casual, slow start to this game.
Still rocking the UMPs as well, I like it. Ooh, I really like this timing though from Cloud9. Could be the rush onto B. Exist gets that Molotov out very quickly. Shroud, looks like it's just a waterfall. Straight out from upper. Exist has to hold the line. He can't get overwhelmed, and he just stays alive long enough to make sure that Shroud kills himself, throwing off the upper.
Yeah, took enough damage. Cracked his legs on impact, and Skadoodle goes down after picking up a single kill. That will make it, for anyone who is keeping account, 3 kills, I believe, in the first 3 rounds for Cloud9.
Yeah, you can see it pretty clearly right there. That's painful if you're Cloud9. It's not ideal, but with good eco management, they'll be all, hey! Shout out to Jerk. He's right there.
Yeah, I saw him being interviewed by G2 earlier as well. So yeah, we've got some well-known faces in the crowd, which is wonderful. Now this is where it gets real. This was all just fluff in the beginning. We've got a 3-0 lead for NiP, but really, this is where it matters. Cloud9 have the rifles. They got that AWP on Skadoodle. There's one on Draken as well. Let's see how this plays out. The American team, if they can fire back early on here, we've got a really interesting first half on our hands. Looks like Skadoodle isn't being given many targets, and actually, apart from Draken, who's strangely holding forward with the AWP, there's not that much aggression from NiP.
Not at all. In fact, NiP seems like perhaps they expected to have quite a bit of aggression on A early on, with 4 players ready, camping. There's the shot, and he misses the chance, Draken. Just a little bit of a scary situation there. Automatic is there to back up Skadoodle as well. Bomb has been dropped in a safe spot for Cloud9.
Oh, goes for a bit of a peek, actually jumps up on the side of the train, which you can there. Gets taken out by Skadoodle. I almost thought he was going to go for that Guardian-style peek, where he was just moving close to the actual main entrance on top of the train, but they're down a man, and that could be a problem. Still 50 seconds on the clock here for Cloud9 to make a breakthrough. We'll see exactly where they're going to go. It looks like 3 down Ivy, which means Rez and Forrest are going to have a pretty big job on their hands. Forrest has picked up the AWP in the meantime. 40 seconds. Rez, he has really impressed us this tournament, but he only has a UMP and a flashbang. It's hard life.
Yeah, it's not much fun. He can get that flash off the train, though, but it doesn't look like he's in position to do it. And with 28 seconds left, they're cutting it a bit fine here, Cloud9. Smoke goes down. Rez goes for the flash, charging through. You're playing against NA players, Rez. They're not going to get caught by that.
Oh, they know that all too well. Now 5 versus 3. The problem is only 16 seconds left here. Cloud9, where's the bomb plant? It's coming out now, but if they lose the plants, I get right, and Exist picking up a couple of kills, and right at the edge of the smoke. Forrest is going to get taken down. 5 seconds. The bomb is being planted, and Skadoodle will follow through. Nothing with a double kill. And Cloud9 pick up the first round, making it 1-3. Now they're on the board. Now we've got a real game on our hands.
This is the tough thing here for NiP. And this is why you really need to see players like Get Right, Exist, and Forrest lead the way. Get those high impact frags that will allow Draken and Rez to get some time for confidence, because they're playing on the stage right now, and this is a totally different beast from playing in a studio or playing online at home, in prac, etc. You're playing on one of the biggest stages in esports, period. And so that might be getting into their heads just a little bit here for NiP.
A double AWP instead. They did have a good economy on the NiP side. Currently, Automatic has 0 kills and Draken has 0 kills. And Rez is on 1, Stewie, Shroud, It's just way too early to make any good judgments about how this is going to play out. Both of the teams are off to a bit of a slow start, but that could be all right. Shroud will take Draken down. That's definitely not the kind of fight that they were looking for. And Draken with the AWP over there, you'd think he could maybe try and edge that kill in. 4 versus 5, and in the 5th round here, another good opening for Cloud9, and they really slow it down after the openings. They don't go anything quick.
Just excellent utility management here from Cloud9, though. Look at this. They still have practically everything. Now, exactly, when you can start actually getting some of those smokes into play, you can go for a full execute, you have all the tools necessary, plus the man advantage. This should be a follow-up round here for Cloud9. It's going to take something heroic from NiP.
Well, given the fact that the bomb is gravitating towards the B side, Exist might be in a position to do something incredibly heroic up here. He does have a Molotov as well, so if he gets the first kill, he can actually block off a lot. Now instead he's dropped really low and they're going to be able to catch him. Stewie challenging that fight. That's a very smart move from him. And that, maybe NiP should save these guns here. 3 versus 5. The bomb is about to go down unless Forrest can get a lot of kills before anything else happens. This isn't really worth it, and Rez goes down to nothing. This time over at Ivy. Forrest jumping in. He's definitely going to be dead. No, oh, what? The no-scope through the smoke. Still not going to make a difference, but Automatic is going to be pissed. Get Right is alone here.
You don't outlurk Get Right. The man is going to be ready. And another kill. Now he's got his 3. Get Right's done his job. He can back off and save. He's made it so that somebody on Cloud9 has to force. They can't just drop guns left and right and be all right as far as the economy is concerned. Just save the gun. And I think what Get Right is hoping for right now is that he can recover the AWP from Forrest. When that bomb goes off, if he can just dart in here, he's looking for it. And sure enough, up against the wall. Is he lucky?
Did not get it.
That's
Stuck with
frustrating.
the AK, but it would have been better if he could have saved the AWP. That would have been really cool.
That you see all the guns just go flying past, and then it's just like, well, which one is it? Did I get lucky here or not? Clever stuff, though, from Get Right. He got the maximum amount out of that situation there, getting Cloud9 to spend a lot and saving an AK. AK, that one-shot headshot potential now on the CT side. That's when you see guys, sometimes on CT side, once they get an AK, they just go full beast mode because they know that they can do tremendous amounts of damage. But Cloud9 not really taking any risks at all.
No, and it's becoming evident that Cloud9 have a solid plan right here. Stewie's doing a remarkable job in holding this squad back. They're just not giving many openings for NiP. Even when they get the frags, they wait for a long time and then they follow through with the plan. It's all really smooth right now from Cloud9's point of view. NiP's economy stretched in this round, and we'll have to see what they could do a little bit later.
Where is Young Stu? Hold on, is Young Stu watching Shroud's back, or is he making sure that somebody can't push from lower?
Yeah, he's over by the brown holes just.
Okay. I'm curious about that setup, considering Shroud was actually pushing forward to clear out upper ramp.
6th round in, and still plenty of time on the clock here. Using the utility, I think that grenade went slightly the wrong way. It's supposed to bounce out a little bit further, but doesn't really matter in this particular case. Stack is mostly towards the B bomb site, which is also where the AK-47 is, so this A hit for Rez and Draken is going to mean a pretty quick end, especially Rez, who's just got the USP. At least Draken has got a bit more firepower.
Push is about to come through. Holding close. Draken, is he going to get the lucky shot? Yep, catches him looking the wrong way and actually gets 2 kills. What a play. Automatic is there to get the frag back. He's not going to be able to pick up Rez, however. They do know that he's holding close, and that Molotov is really going to force him into the corner. This is a pre-fire sort of shot coming in for Automatic if he actually wants to hunt for it. But instead, he's looking for the shots on the site itself. They need to get this bomb planted. 8 seconds left here for Cloud9, and Rez could be the hero, but it's going to be Get Right stepping up. And the AK, the save, comes back to haunt Cloud9 in the end. What a hero, Get Right.
So you're just praising Cloud9 for their patience and their coordination, but in a round where you're against 1 AK and 4 pistols, you really don't want to be in a situation where you run out of time.
The timing there, that's the whole difference right there. It's just the timing, the fact that he swaps out from his rifle as he runs around the corner, nothing. That's painful.
4-2 as a scoreline. Moving into the 7th round, Cloud9 not going to be happy about losing that round. They will luckily have the money to buy. I mean, especially with the bomb plant, that was going to work out. Still want to see something crazy with the AWP out of Draken as well. It seems like he hasn't had many chances. Been shut down a couple of rounds. But down at Ivy Res. Is there going to be a flashbang from a teammate? Setting it up, but no, it doesn't actually come through. It looked like Draken was ready for it, but nothing finds that frag yet again.
Yeah, watching his teammates back. Scott doesn't take a single point of damage. That goes according to plan. Although Nothing is the one carrying the majority of the utility. Between him and Automatic, they have most of the nades here for Cloud9, so you don't want Nothing getting picked off just like that. But he maintains his Opper. Good teammate, that Nothing. Man advantage now for Cloud9. Minute left. And I really do think that Cloud9 need to start speeding it up just a little bit here. They keep letting it get down to 30 seconds before they actually execute on a site, and that's leaving them so little room for error. You can't really do that versus NiP, because look at what GetRight just did in the last round.
Yes, like the early part of this game is so good because they keep getting the entry frag. I mean, that's the hardest part of playing on the T side, right? So once you've done that, yeah, just make sure you push before there's only 20 seconds left and you'll be fine. Down to 40 seconds this time, and they're making their way out into the yard. Draken covering this long line, and he's going to be rewarded for the patience. Taking down Skadoodle, up on the train, takes Stewie as well. And finally, Automatic coming into play with a big double kill. It leaves Exist at a 1 versus 3 with a bomb down as well. And Cloud9 showing that the first 2 rounds weren't just an accident. They know how to play this T side on train. And Exist, he's going to get 1 kill, but there's still so much to come, especially because Automatic has that Molotov. He can buy a lot of time with it, and Exist going to go down. Automatic with a triple, and Cloud9 making it 3-4. They are edging closer.
The margins are so fine, Anders. We were 2 HP away from a sick play there from Drake, and he got the collateral shot on Nothing as well. Nothing survives while he's planting the bomb with 2 HP. Otherwise, we're looking at it, a totally different beast. Here we go. We get the replay of it as well. They line up for him. Gets the shot on Stewie, but had he canceled the plant as well?
Yeah, that could have been the round.
That would have been insane.
Well, here's a change of pace for the American side. Stewie charging right in, and Rez completely caught off guard. And in fact, NiP have actually invested into this round, so that could really backfire on them. The Swedish side need to make this work. Forrest and then GetRight, that classic duo coming in with a couple of kills each. Leaving it in a 4-on-3 with Shroud pushed up very far. Exist rushing down towards the E-box, but GetRight still got some life left in him. And he's going to pick up a second kill of the round now. Skadoodle and Nothing. They don't have the bomb, but they've got lots of time.
Too much hesitation on Cloud9's part. This is definitely what's costing them here. They keep going up to the bomb train 1 at a time, and the shot going to be missed by Skadoodle. Draken hits it first. It's on Nothing now to clutch it. 1v3. GetRight was low. That's a good start. 1v2 now, and unfortunately for him, Forrest hits the perfect timing, catches him with the nade in his hand, does a lot of damage, and Draken is there to collect the frag. But I think the main thing here for Cloud9 in this, they changed the pace, but look at how far up Stewie was. Everybody else was all back by E-box, and Stewie's just like, I'm on the bomb side. I need some help here.
Yeah, but even in that first push, you know, why are Forrest and GetRight being allowed to stand on that bomb train? Like, you can throw Molotovs that just clear out, you know, the whole backside of that carriage, and then, you know, they have to fall back and see connector or further back.
So just the metal carriage?
Yeah, I think they could have done a better job with the grenades than that round. Cloud9 didn't quite succeed in doing that. Excellent shot from GetRight. Stewie, no more feet or knees or anything. It's just gone.
Halt.
Oh, looking for more. There's the double kill with the max 7, and with a bit of timing, maybe could have even taken down Automatic. He doesn't have any armor, and he's definitely dead. GetRight with a triple. And that will be 6-3. This game is swinging all over the place. Yep. I feel like Cloud9 have like a really good solution because NiP keep losing the entries when it's rifles versus rifles, but they can't seem to close out the rounds. And
dude, GetRight's sitting at 13-03 right now. That's a pretty solid score line. Forrest had the strong start, but GetRight has definitely shown up as well. And it feels like, I mean, it feels like ages since we've seen GetRight, you know, topping a scoreboard. The man is back, perhaps. He was on hiatus. He went on vacation. He's a Swede, so he probably went to Thailand. But now he's here to play.
He's been gone a very long time. And I know from talking to him, it's been a personal sort of failure as well. Definitely been a tough time for him. Now, looking a lot different. Draken will get the kill or Nothing. This round should be easy for NiP. The Cloud9 squad just wanted to get the bomb down in this situation. They've done more than that, in fact. GetRight doing more with the max 7. That's a lot of money in his pockets. But honestly, this is job well done for Cloud9. 2 kills and a bomb plant. If they could have made their way out with the M4, it would have been even too much to ask for. But $10,000 on GetRight.
It's refreshing to see, just because this is like old JW style on train. close main, close pop dog with the Swag 7, just looking for shotguns. But I would love to see Get Right actually hold on to that in a buy round. Not going to be the case. That would have been true J-Dubs. But instead, it's going to be him on the UMP, 3 rifles, the AWP, fully equipped both teams. And now the pressure is starting to mount here for Cloud9. They need to start getting a bit more of an impact in these rounds. They just actually just win a round. If they let it go 12-3 here, NiP are going to be feeling way too good on this first map. But we do have Cash coming up as a second map here in this best of 3. We will at least have Cash. Cobble is a third map if necessary.
Maybe trying for more of a standard B take in this particular round. Seems like they've had some losses out of that A yard. Get Right and Exist are currently holding down there. Get Right. I was wondering for a minute if he was going to try and go up the ladder, but he's actually got a flashbang in his hand, so he's waiting for a signal play from Cloud9, and that smoke could very well be the signal. Now it's just a question of time. If you get the grenade right, then Cloud9 are going to run in, be blind, and then him and Exist will spray them down. That's the plan right now.
Yeah, Forest is pretty close as well for the rotation through connector. But now the execute is going to come through. It's the timing. Flash is there. Get Right. Perfect. The flash goes off in Stewie's face. It'll be a 1-for-1. Exist doing his job, though. Finds a headshot on Shroud, and they maintain the man advantage for the retake. And now NiP, so difficult. Automatic is going to be the hero. He's going to charge forward and try and take the fight to NiP, not let them get too close to the site too quickly.
That's a good idea, because NiP have a lot of grenades. If they can't hold them back, then those Molotovs are really going to be a lot of trouble for Cloud9. 7-3 the scoreline here. Let's see what the Americans can do. Automatic, he's got the sound. He knows they're there. He's going to take down, actually, Skadoodle taking down Rest. Automatic running in, but now it's all on Skadoodle. He's got the double. He needs the quad. Going to try for the flick there. Not quite connecting, and now NiP are moving closer, covering the line. He almost gets the mid-air shot, but they're right on top of him. And he goes down to Forrest, who just falls off the train for the defuse. And he's going to have it in time as well. It will be 8-3. Tough retake for NiP, but I think for sure Automatic is going to be sad about that round. It looked like he had the timing to get a quick double there.
To get that second shot through. And Ska, well, I believe at the beginning we saw that he's had 3 1vx situations so far in the group stage. We're into the playoffs now, and he wasn't able to make it happen that time. But I'm convinced that's because we're not at the end of the half just yet. A lot of those 1vx's happened, 14th round, 15th round in the first half. Ska would do something crazy to keep Cloud9 in the match. So we'll see. Doesn't have his AWP this round, but he could always go and kill Draken and take his.
Draken is at least giving them the opportunity. He's down by Ivy, pushed up. Nothing on the other side, still just waiting, patiently playing for that angle. Nothing out of the ordinary apart from this for NiP. Draken going to be flashed, trying to fire the AWP, but should just fall back by now. I don't think there's any point in pressuring this too much. Again, it's a pretty big giveaway if you end up going down. He is still taking this fight. It's very bold, but the flames covering it could have easily been a tough situation. Automatic.
Yeah, he has a flash still.
Automatic.
Yeah, exactly. He's already out on the site. This is a perfect position for him because Stewie's going to find the first shot. He misses his opportunity, though, and the gig is up. They know where he is, and Force is there to assassinate him. Draken hits the shot on Stewie as well. 3-on-3, pushing forward onto the site, or at least trying to here, Cloud9. They're getting bogged down, but Shroud takes advantage, and Shroud with the double.
Draken now, can he stop the bomb from going down? He actually misses the shot. He had one opportunity and didn't make it work, and that reaction is exactly right.
That's exactly what you feel right there.
It's not clear that he would have won the round if he had got that kill, but certainly that would have been very interesting. I mean, I'm shocked that Cloud9 won that round. I feel like they are missing a bit of explosion in their play. If you walk into the A-bomb side, like all the way up onto the sort of the bomb zone, and that's when the fight starts, you have to follow through. And it feels like Cloud9, they sort of start the fight and then they wait around for a long time, and it's a bit weird,
There's a mental block that can develop like that if you get caught in a certain spot. And it's just a matter of breaking it, of just finally committing. And that's the main thing here. They just need to commit to these plays, Cloud9. They can't continue to get caught, although NiP, they're doing a very good job of punishing that. Draken, he's changed it up. He was aiming for the long-range shot before. Now he's on lower ramp. Will be able to make it out in time. Shroud decides not to chase, for fear perhaps of running into a trap. But this will wind up on A once again here for Cloud9. 3 players towards Alley.
We'll see how it plays out. Get right close by E-Box, and then Forest behind him. And that duo of players If they can shut down the push through main and Pop Dog, then even if Ivy falls, that's still a pretty good situation for NiP. Cloud9 patiently waiting once again. They don't want to give any easy kills away for the NiP squad. We'll see what Rez can do. He's had a pretty tough game down here at Ivy. 2 kills for him so far. Flashbang to try and break any kind of timing for Cloud9, and now moving into the angle is Skadoodle. He's going to be going for the flick. He doesn't quite get it, but Stewie with a great headshot to take down Rest, and that should really spark the opening here. Now they need to go. Automatic making some noise, but not enough. Draken still stays alive for just a minute, jumping off the ladder, trying to find the angle. Forrest gets a kill, and now Draken is down. A lot of pressure on Get Right and Forrest out in this yard. They need to make it work. Get Right getting one. He sees the feed. He actually turns around. The timing is almost there for him. There's the shot coming through, and Skadoodle goes down to assist, leaving just nothing. Again in a 1-on-X, and he's only got 10 seconds. What a hard round for him to try and win after everything they did. The flashdown is perfect, though. Almost getting the shot through with 4 seconds left. The bomb is going to come in, and now it's the 1-on-1. Get Right on top of the train, and nothing. Crouching, not showing himself. Now he sees it, but Get Right finding the flick and the headshot. A triple kill for the clutch here. The master is definitely back. He's got 19 kills in 13 rounds.
I haven't seen...
Oh. Staring his victim dead in the eye.
There's a long history between Nothing and Get Right as well. They've known each other for a long time. But I have to say, Anders, this roster change for NiP, one little detail is because we get to stay at the same hotel as some of the players. So you get to see a bit how the players are reacting as they progress through the tournament. I haven't seen Get Right this smiley in what feels like forever. Like every time I see him now, he's just looking cheerful, looking like he's in a good mood, things are going right. And you can tell it's clearly translating into the game for him here. We're looking at a different a revitalized Get Right. Whereas Cloud9 right now, they cannot be pleased with the result of that round. Getting the openings as well. Skadoodle hits the leg shot on Forrest, so they have that going for him at least.
Kind of a bold move from Forrest, just walking in and shooting that M4 into A main. That might as well have been a kill there. And they don't want to let go of this now. This has actually been a terrific first half for NiP. Especially because I think a lot of the power of having Threat on your team is not going to manifest itself on the CT side so much. I mean, it will make a difference, but I think Threat's real strength is the T side, and they're not even there yet. I would be a bit worried if I was Cloud9 right now.
Oh, yes. We've seen a lot of solid T side halves from any of these teams. It's been kind of a trend. More T rounds have been picked up. So Cloud9 now, they're going to have to wholly rely on that CT defense because there are only 2 rounds left here. Best case scenario, 9-6, and let's see if they can pull it off. Draken there with the opening pick in the round. Get Right finds a headshot of his own, and Rez holds his own. Doesn't feel like we've gotten to say that too much. Rez has had a bit of a bumpy first half here, but it's just Nothing alone in a 1v5.
With an AWP as well. A great round from Draken, and Assist will take the last kill and make it 10-4. I mean, there's nobody on Cloud9 that's really gone completely missing. They're all, getting the kills. They've just had really a hard time closing out rounds where they make it a 4 versus 5 right at the beginning, and then you're supposed to be able to convert most of those rounds. 15th one is coming up, and sadly for Cloud9, they just don't have the money to really make this a buy. Man.
Yeah,
This is a hard life right now for the Americans.
This time, however, they are not the only NA team in the playoffs. Couple more. So we'll see. Shroud, once again, punishes Draken for going for that peek. Draken, you keep doing that. And if Shroud is ready for you, he's perfectly capable of punishing the predictable play. Wallbangs onto Exist as well. That was sick. I like it.
He's just not going to be too happy at all about that. Forrest will get a kill on Stewie. At least brings it back to a 4 versus 4. Automatic has the AWP, so we'll see if he can make something work with it. The real problem for Cloud9 is the lack of grenades. They want to get down and put that bomb down on the B bomb site, but how do you survive entering here? You could smoke off the sidewalk, but that only leaves a couple of more options still open. Exist trying to fall back, holding close is Get Right. Turning around for the one flashbang. Exist has gone down. Get Right coming in with another kill. This time Automatic's the victim, leaving Rez in a 1 versus 2.
I gotta be careful about those confidence plays. That ends up costing them.
What a round from Cloud9. 10-5. Definitely well done. They should be excited about that one. First half, still looking very interesting. It could go either way. We'll see what happens when we come back after the break. Stay with us. Second half is coming up. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Second half coming up here. NiP and Cloud9 in the best of 3 quarterfinals. Second half is going to be coming up now. And right now, NiP are looking like they're back. Who would have thought? Absolutely. Right. I mean, it's not just that they're back. It's the fact that it's Get Right and Forest at the top of the scoreboard doing most of the work. Their Orpa and Draken is doing so much work. And it's all just working out. Even though Rez has had a tough game, they're still doing a fine job. Now, I want to see Cloud9 do the same. It's time for them to step it up. They had a bit of a rough start on the T side, in spite of some really good plays. Now let's see if they can follow through and make the comeback here on the CT side. Instead, it's NiP with a Glock rush right into the B bomb side. Automatic, he has to get pure headshots. Everybody's flashed. There's one, there's a second. And Automatic, he can't get the third, but what a great double kill. Now it's Skadoodle up on the train, looking to snipe away. They're getting close, and Rez coming in with a big kill there. He's going to get shut down by Shroud. The bomb will be planted, but they can't make it out alive, and it's a lot of trouble for Exist. Having to retake and defend the bomb in a 1 versus 3 with 7 health now. No chance at all. What a round from Cloud9, and all praise Automatic. That was really big.
It worked out perfectly, and this is where you start to wonder just how polished NiP's T side is going to be, because they have had that new change in the roster. They don't even know which are their good maps yet because they just haven't had enough time to work on them. And so going into T side, when you have Rez, it is kind of expected to see him struggling here because it's one of his first times on a massive stage, one of the biggest stages.
This is interesting. The Betway odds. A lot of people actually think that NiP be winning this. That sort of surprises me. Maybe they've been convinced by the group stage. NiP did look good. I would caution heavily against that. Like trying to compare best of 1 games to best of 3 games, I think is really dangerous. But they've got the crowd.
So you like to live dangerously, huh, Anders?
No, I'm just a fanboy. You know how that works. I like to make crazy predictions because it really messes Moses up when I'm right, and you know.
I know that's
historically speaking.
Dude, you've just been like that for ages, though. I mean, you were saying Astralis were going to be the best team in the world for like a year before they looked even close to getting there, just to mess with them.
Called Electronicus being the new up-and-coming Russian player, more than a year before it happened.
He is a baller, though. He is a baller.
Very good. This is easy for Cloud9. Shutting down a couple of players that have no armor. They shouldn't really be losing any rifles. Well, as I say that, Forest is having fun with the Deagle. Can't let that happen. You don't want to let Forest have any fun at all because it seems like he becomes exponentially more dangerous the more fun he has. There's like a correlation there. So make sure he's not having a good time.
It's tough.
Put salt in his coffee or whatever it takes.
Dude, that would be so disgusting. Actually, I think that's just like instant throwing up. You know, it's like if you drink poison one day or something, you eat a mushroom that you shouldn't. Salt and coffee. I think that'd be a pretty good combo.
Maybe it's the new product, the new big thing.
Just thinking about it makes me nauseous.
Well, let's not go there then. Draken goes down. Skadoodle finding the kill long range with the MP7. That's just fine. And all is good in the hood for Cloud9. 7-10. I think it's a bit upsetting for them to not have done better on the T side, but when you win the pistol, especially the way that they did, and then, you know, you get the follow-up rounds nice and smooth, you're starting to feel a bit more comfortable again. The only problem is NiP can buy rifles in this round here. And not that much utility on the Cloud9 team, at least in terms of AWPs and even the MP7 there on Skadoodle. See how it plays out. Well, good trade to begin with there. Nothing going down. Even if Stewie got the refrag, very dangerous move from Automatic. I would like to see that in slow motion. You see Forrest's face popping in, and Automatic's no more.
Excuse me, sir, do you have a minute to talk? No! Skadoodle. I like it. I like it. I don't know. This is still an open round here. 3-on-3 should favor NiP, especially if they go running out onto the site. But Skadoodle, he's picked up an AK and he puts it to good use. Forest already taken down. Man advantage now for Cloud9 and a 2-man advantage. Skadoodle stepping up yet again in a key round that will keep Cloud9 growing with their economy here in the CT side. It would be only so fitting if Ska picks up the quad, and it's looking like it might happen. He's got the angle, and sure enough, he'll do it. Well done, Skadoodle. A key round, a big play, and that will keep Cloud9 on the right track.
That puts him on top of the scoreboard for Cloud9, at least at 14 kills. And this is very exciting. Let's see how this looks. Oops. What a good time. This is really important. One of the worst aspects of Skadoodle as a player used to be that he was only good with the AWP. Give him a rifle and he didn't do anything at all. It's just not even worth it, you know. Rounds like these are kind of encouraging. You know, if he can start to add that aspect to his play, he can be an even more lethal player than he already is. So, I'm kind of excited about that, but no more rifling. Instead, it's that AWP on Scar. Already picking off Rest, nothing but a kill on Forest. Bomb plant not going to happen this round either. Nothing doing all the work out here. Surviving on 5 health with a quad kill, making it 10-9.
Okay, then.
Oh, this game is definitely on now. Like, this could go all 30 rounds.
It's almost like formulaic when it comes to Cloud9. You know, they start getting into the flow, and then it just turns into guys. One guy drops 3 frags in the round. Then it's the next guy's turn. Then it's the next guy's turn. This time it was nothing. We'll see who shows up this round. But you're right. I mean, we're talking a lot. We're focusing a lot on Get Right, Forest, you know, revitalized for NiP. But Skadoodle's shape over the past couple of weeks here has been phenomenal.
And
he has certainly stepped up, and nothing as well. So the old hands here, especially in terms of in case of nothing. But you've got the North American vets who are starting to wake up and become a real threat again.
That's a nice grenade of really long distance there to block off Ivy. Automatic going to take up the challenge, just runs down the lane, going for the spray. Flashes in as well, Automatic dropping the bomb, but they're all around him still. And he's getting shot at the back. Get Right will pick up the kill. Rest took down Skadoodle as well, and suddenly, snap of a finger, we're in a 2-on-3. Stewie gets one, but it's not quite enough here. Shroud still has a lot of work to do. Holding on to the site. They've got the bomb. If he can fall back and Get Right, he's got the time to make it out.
Yep, they're going
that's
to
what
B.
he's going to do. That's a very smart move.
Or they should go to B.
Oh,
Why is he here? Why does he stay? Shroud with the double headshot clutch. Why doesn't he go straight up Pop Dog to B when they know Shroud is on A?
That's quite shocking, because if he had gone Pop Dog and just made his way out, then the player on the A bomb side could have caught Shroud in rotation.
Then they win. It's like hands down, they just win.
Oh, that's... depending on what happens here, we should definitely be asking NiP about this round. But look at Shroud. This is the mechanical aim that he's so well known for. Monstrous flick coming in as well. A beautiful play coming out from him. He shots down the 2 top fraggers on NiP just like that.
You don't expect to see that kind of mistake from Get Right and Forest both. That's an interesting development there. That's really going to shock Cloud9, or rather NiP.
It might not even have been their mistake. It could be someone else on the team making a call. You know,
communication, perhaps.
Something like that. Well, tactical timeout has been picked up here. And the scoreline is tied 10-10. Cloud9 absolutely looking great in the second half, winning 5 rounds in a row. That's how it's done.
Well, let's see. Let's see. Is this the moment? Whoa, NiP. They're going for the buy after all. Playing with fire, perhaps? No, this is a half buy from them. Still, Get Right with that single AK. We've seen some heroics from him so far on this map when he had the rifle. Skadoodle there to start, however, finds the first shot on Rez. And he's able to back off safely as well. On the other side, Automatic catches Forrest, who's trying to lurk his way out, trying to draw the attention of Cloud9 over towards that A site. But Cloud9, they remain fixed in position. 3 on A, 2 on B. They're ready for anything right now.
Man, that was a brave play from Skadoodle. He must have heard the footsteps, and he must have heard that there was more than one person, and he still just face peeks it. That's pretty interesting. I mean, that Tech9, he could have been done right then and there. But he makes it look easy. 5 versus 3. Cloud9 about to take the round lead here. Not something that NiP are really hoping for.
Sorry, I got to reload my water bottle with Red Bull here. Okay, we're good.
It's a classic. AK on Get Right, so still a chance that maybe they could find an opening and lurk in a couple of kills. Now, Shroud actually might just give them the opportunity here. This is a bit much. He goes down. Not sure that's really necessary. Someone's going to want to have a word with Shroud later on. Automatic took down Get Right. That makes up for it, at least in some way, but don't give them any free kills here. You need all the economy you can possibly get.
They're close to being able to rotate back into Connector as well. 30 seconds left. There would have been time, barely, right, if they had just hauled away from Ali with the bomb and tried to wrap. But now there's confirmation here for Cloud9. Should not be an issue. Draken with a beautiful headshot on nothing, but they still have no idea where Automatic is playing from, and he is going to be the thorn in NiP's side with 10 seconds left. There's just not enough time here for them to react. Although Exist does hear the footsteps. 1-for-1 trade, and we're into it now. The thick of it. Exist in a 1v2 clutch situation. Will Stewie make any noise coming down Pop Dog, however?
Will it even matter? He's got no grenades. He has to go down naked. Exist, though, looking the wrong way for the moment. Now he's down, and Exist doesn't stand a chance. That's very hard for him to play that 1v2 regardless. But what a huge round for NiP. That 3 kills and a bomb plant.
Kind of plays out perfect for Cloud9, doesn't it? He hides in the one space where Stewie is going to be like, oh, I heard the footstep. Great, we know exactly where he is now. Like yeah, a little bit of a grid. A little bit of a grid. But sometimes that's just the way it goes. And so Cloud9 pull ahead, 11-10. They've made the comeback happen. They've made it through the tie situation. Now they have to withstand the NiP assault because NiP have got the full buy going into this round. Draken has got his AWP, and they have all the nades they could hope for here. Very quick spread from NiP, though, looking to be prepared for Cloud9 to go aggressive. It's just not the case.
No, Cloud9 have 2 AWPs, and that makes me really excited. I kind of like watching Stewie open. He apparently likes it too, taking down Exist over on that side of the map. Great combination from Shroud. Get right, deciding to challenge this mode instead of falling back. Forest actually opening up with a kill. AK out in the yard, but Skadoodle will take him down. That long range with the AWP, winning out this time. Rez and Draken, 2 versus 4. Looking very good for Cloud9.
They're the 2 young guns, and Rez has been struggling to hit some shots. I've actually been thinking a little bit about that, watching from the camera here. He's the one sitting closest to the camera. But also, I almost feel like Rez should be sitting between Get Right and Forest or Exist and Forest or some, some guys who can kind of like give him a shout and give it, when he does something well, right, just keep the spirits up. Because there's a lot of pressure on him right now to perform.
Yeah, one of the biggest stages in esports, and with this kind of lineup, it's definitely a lot of pressure. A lot of eyes are going to be on him, and he absolutely must know it. It's different from playing in a studio. It's different from playing in your home or in your practice area. This is where it really counts. Draken with a smoke and trying to see if he can maybe get that kill in. Rest has got the bomb, but coming out of Pop Dog, almost impossible with that little health. He's going to be going down. Draken as well. That will make it 12-10 here. Cloud9 now coming back into it, winning 7 consecutive rounds in this half. That's just remarkable.
They're really getting that lockdown rolling. They're maintaining their economy as well to the point where they can actually buy if they lose a round here, Cloud9. So they have that safety net established with Skadoodle leading the way. 18 frags, but everybody's so close. 18 frags, 16 on Shroud, and then nothing Stewie and Automatic, all tied with 14. Everybody's stepping up here on Cloud9. It's always fun to see that. Like sometimes it's great to watch a guy just drop 40 frags, but then you're just like, but where are the rest of his teammates? Good to see that Cloud9 right now, everybody's firing on all cylinders.
Timeout being called here for NiP. They still have 3 left, and they might end up needing them. The way that this game is unfolding, Cloud9 are looking like a really good CT side team here, which I don't think we've always been able to say, but I'm quite happy to see them do this much damage. What's the answer for NiP?
Half buy, YOLO rush onto B site. Channel the matchmaking, Anders. That's the key here.
Right now.
I wasn't joking. I was serious. Like, just run onto B.
Just run on.
Just go for it. With the Tech9 Kevlar, a couple of flashes, you just make it very quick, and anything can happen. You just try and make it chaotic.
Definitely worked in the past. This time, though, they're going to come out of Pop Dog, and they will get 2 quick kills in there. Forest, if he lands this headshot, that just might be it. But Shroud is left alive for the moment, and now he's looking to try and return the favor here. Another kill coming in from Shroud. Can't get a third. Still a 2-on-2, and the bomb is not down yet. Automatic going for the peek on top of the smoke, and he's going to get it as well. Forest in a lot of trouble. He couldn't really refrag it. He was flashed, and now he's got a minute to try and play some mind games here. This is definitely a situation where you want someone like Forest left.
Yeah, Stewie's in the perfect spot to deal with this, however. Not sure if he was close enough to hear the footsteps.
No.
But Forest now going to be walking in. He's got the angle. He's looking for the shot. Does he pre-fire this when he comes around the corner? No. No idea. Doesn't look left. Sadly, sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to listen to your mom when she tells you to look both ways before crossing the road or, exiting the door. Look both ways to make sure Stewie isn't waiting on the other corner.
I was going to say, don't teach your kids that. Give them nightmares. 13-10, 24th round is coming up. Cloud9, there's got to be some Cloud9 fans in the audience out there. I feel like they're being a little bit quiet right now, but they shouldn't be. 8 rounds in a row for the second half, an absolutely miraculous occurrence. Skadoodle taking down Get Right as they try and rush the yard. NiP trying for the change of pace, but they've already lost 1 player. Now they need those refrags and need them quickly. Forest going to get the kill on nothing. At least we'll tie it up for the moment. Now a quick bomb plant would be in order. Stewie falling back a bit. Draken picking up Skadoodle, and now there is going to be a bomb plant. No one can stop it. 3 versus 4. This is NiP's chance to finally do something in this second half. Exist with a kill as well, and Forrest with a headshot, leaving Shroud in a 1-on-3.
Whoa, how did that get so sloppy? Manages to actually do a little bit of damage to Draken, so he has the info here. Waiting to see if the peek is going to come through, but there is absolutely no reason, especially if Draken has got that angle, but he's looking towards A main. He's not holding the E-box line, and that kit cost him. Shroud nearly finds the kill on Forrest as well. Trying to bait a response, but he's running so low on time. There's the first shot. There's the second. Does he have time to make it? He does. More than enough. He has the kit, and there's the triple kill clutch.
Absolutely nuts clutch from Shroud. I mean, I can't even believe it. This is some next level stuff, especially because he switches the angle to get the kill on Forrest first. That is just completely mad.
When was the last time you saw Shroud grinning like that, Anders? That is, well, I mean, probably when they qualified for the major. Fair enough, Anders. I answered my own question. But sick plays from Shroud. That's what you expect from Stewie or Automatic. I love it.
Fragging as well with 21 kills. This is a bit of a nightmare for NiP right now, but the Canadian player definitely showing up here today, not willing to go out against NiP, and now the Swedes are in trouble. Stewie getting a headshot quick off the bat. He will go down, but Automatic in charge of 2 kills. And falling back, he doesn't realize Get Right is that far off. Tapping away Get Right, he getting a headshot regardless on Shroud. That was pretty impressive. Will it have been enough here for Forrest to close out this round? He's got to face the AWP at some point. A lot of corpses in the way as well. We'll see how this can turn out. He's already made some noise. He's going to make the jump down, and Skadoodle not going to miss the shot this time. 15-10 map point for Cloud9.
We found them. They're there. A couple of them with the jerseys. If you made the flight over from the States, you are my hero. So sick. You got to love ESL 1 Cologne. That's what it's all about. The fact that we're smack in the middle of Europe, but also it's so easy to get here. You have fans traveling from around the world to be at this event. It truly is one of the premier events in esports.
In case you are paying attention at home, so far NiP have won no rounds on the T side. It's been 10 straight rounds for Cloud9. Whoa. From 10-5 to 15-5.
Whoa. Getting just a little out of hand here. Do they get a flawless CT half?
This is some SK level stuff where you just lock down the CT side and no one can do anything. Honestly, incredibly impressive right now. Let's see what NiP can do. They are fighting for overtime right now. They need to win 5 rounds in a row. That just doesn't seem very likely.
Where is it, though? Where is it? Because look, Cloud9, they're just shifting as the nades get used. They're shifting, adjusting the distance to make sure that they can't just get rushed down too free. Flashes in, Get Right completely blind, blocking his teammate. That ends up costing him nearly the double spray again for Shroud. Instead, it's the 1-for-1, but nothing is still alive. Force might be able to end that. No, nothing wins that duel too. How is this happening? Automatic with a kill of his own. Rez and Dragon, the 2 youngsters, are the last 2 alive, and they bring it back to a 1v2.
Still so much trouble here. Rez, he's got 30 seconds to find the bomb and 2 kills as well. And now he's trapped in between them, literally sandwiched between the 2 Cloud9 players. They just play positionally so well, and there's the shot coming in. Nothing finding the last one. 16-10 in favor of Cloud9 here for the first map in the quarterfinals. What a CT half. NiP, absolutely no answers to come up with. That is incredibly well played.
Yeah, what a stellar performance from Cloud9 on the CT side. But this really just has to give you hope if you're an NiP fan. Look at this. They played very well on CT, and on T side, the thought was there. They just couldn't quite get it together and win those clutches. And so when it comes down to it, I think this NiP, they're looking very good to me, Anders.
I'm very impressed. 11 rounds in a row for the Cloud9 team to win the match. I mean, at that point, what can you say? Like that you just have to always count them in, I suppose.
It's monstrous.
So well played. Obviously, map 2 is going to be coming up. That will be on cash, so we're definitely not done yet. But this was just one hell of a game.
Well, fancy seeing you here. No, fantastic.
Not sure we got the audio yet for Alex.
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and bring Alex in. He's standing here and he's talking to us, but you know what? We're going to get him in here anyway. Alex, I like the choice of jacket today, man. It's suede. It feels so soft. It's almost as silky as your voice.
Considering how much I paid for it, it's probably not suede. But it feels nice, I'll give you that one. So it's happening. What's happening? Twitter has just blown up. Reddit is likely about to blow up.
Okay.
Shroud is playing against in form Get Right and Forest, and these winning clutches. I mean, what's happening? Cloud9 have just taken their map pick versus in form NiP. You having an adventure in the casting desk?
Oh, I'm loving it, man. This is great. I love to see a revitalized Cloud9.
Right.
On both of these teams, I mean, this was a classic back in 2014, right, where these teams were just clashing all the time, and it was true mind games. But right now, we're seeing the old guard rejuvenated. All of a sudden, guys you don't expect to pull clutches off are doing it left and right. Ska, Shroud, you name them. They're beasts. It's great. They're back.
And no one can complain, right? But how many times have you sat here on a casting desk, an analyst desk, and you found ourselves doing the same? Well, Shroud would be great to Shroud step up. We won 2015 Skadoodle back. Oh, it'd be great to see Forest in his retro form. We're getting everything we asked for at one point.
Yeah, or even just watching Cloud9 get close and then sort of fumble at the end. This time there was there's nothing shaky in their play. Just followed through 11 rounds in a row. That's just phenomenal.
North American Counter-Strike. Now, for anyone that's unfamiliar, this will be my last question, of course, to you boys. But NACS, you, as everyone else, is guilty of it in the past. NACS was a joke, right? We used to make jokes about it. The NACS CS meme.
Deservedly so, though.
Right, and this has been this is a gradual incline to the point now where Cloud9 are. it's only the first map. All right, I'll leave the memesters to it. I'm gonna head over to the desk, boys. We'll be back for that map too. Hopefully a third as well. And that leaves us with our analyst panel. Now, fortunately, I can pick the brains of none other than an ex-ninja, and of course, actually, Janko does ninja activities in his spare time as well.
Yeah, I'm on a ninja diet, Alex.
You are. You're looking trim.
One?
What's the ninja diet?
You eat so that no one sees you.
Oh my God, that's the play. So he goes into dark rooms and has a little Dorito once in a while. Anyway, ninja diets and ninjas performing in Counter-Strike aside, we're going to have to dig deep into this one. Cloud9 win their map pick in a best of 3 versus an inform Ninjas in Pajamas. And it is an inform Ninjas in Pajamas, right, Adam? You're watching them play. The individuals are stepping up that you requested.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at Forest, this event has been performing very well. The first half, both Forest and we also saw Get Right just stepping it up. Just NiP on the first half just had a very good play, and I think that NiP should be in form. One thing that I am worried about is their T-halves, though, because when I watched their T-halves on Cache, they've been playing 3 caches so far. This is the first time they play another map. It's just when they don't get picks, what's going to happen then, right? Because they didn't get any entries. They didn't get the picks that they did on Cache. And on the T-side train now for NiP, nothing worked for them. Nothing
worked for them. I mean, this was a question that you raised as well, Janko, is that, what happens when the strategy of just loosen easy doesn't work out?
I mean, that's the thing. On Cache we said maybe it was working for them, so why try anything else? But I think on Train we could see that they did fall a little bit flat on that T side. It seemed like they didn't have that many ideas. It was mostly like the same default style, spread around the map, try to get a pick, go towards Ivy. But even when they were trying to take control of it, it wasn't as methodical, right? It wasn't like a smoke to the right side, Molotov to the left side, walk up, pop flash, go out. It was mostly trying to find a kill early on. And when it did switch to an execute, again, it wasn't like a super strategic execute. It was like the basic stuff where it's the wall of smokes or just throwing a smoke or two and trying to sneak a player out team mid. So that, in addition to, of course, Shroud having 2 monster 1v2s at like really important moments in the game, really led to just Cloud9 having a perfect half.
Absolutely, it was. You got to see, of course, a little glimpse of NiP winning, eco round in that first half. You got to see that. It's not like there wasn't some positives for either side. Just in the war of attrition, we got to see Cloud9 win it. This is the clutch you're talking about, right?
Yeah, there's one of them. Both of them were actually really sick. I was sitting and screaming in the green room. I was like, wow.
Right. No, what's really fun is because we have a slight delay. I was talking to someone. I turn around. You're just screaming, and then we get to turn around and watch it unfold in front of us. You know it's going to happen, but you can't work out how.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 clutches from Shroud, that is also like a bit demoralizing to NiP because, that is rounds that they should have won, where they have a 3-on-1 or a 2-on-1. That's rounds where you should win if you play it correctly, right? But
of course.
Then Shroud just plays, I think that the first clutch where Forest was on the bomb train and Get Right was out yard, I think Forest, he did miss a few shots there, so, I mean, he's probably going to be a bit anger to himself that he didn't close that one out. But it's also, I mean, just not getting any round, not feeling that anything is working your T side, it's going to be tough for NiP. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see the approach that they're going to take to the next map now, because the pick and play on Train did not work at all.
And that's the question, because it's another Clash on Cash. This could be the 4th time we see the Ninjas out of 5 maps they've played, and it's going to be Cash again. This time is to take us into a 3rd, and we're going to be talking all about that with these same pretty faces after a short break. You guys go grab yourself something if you're in the arena, and if you're at home, get yourself a cup of tea. I'm getting assaulted by flies. And we're back after the break to talk about Cash.
The Pay Safeguard.